In early September 2024, Aisya and I rode the Malaysian jungle train from Gemas to Kota Bharu, a small city in the state of Kelantan on the northeast coast of the country. This is that story.
Should I?
Should you what? You know any Bollywood dancing moves? No? Luckily I do. I can teach you a few.
I doubt it.
Or whether you were making that goofy sign with your... Aisya and I have just arrived at the Gemas train station in, you guessed it, Gemas. And we have about an hour's wait before we catch our next train through the Malaysian jungle to Kota Bharu, which is on the northeast coast. It's about midnight and there isn't really that much to record. The station is very small. We don't depart for Kota Bharu until about 1:15 in the morning, 1 o'clock, 1:15, something like that. So we have about an hour's wait. And we'll be arriving in Kota Bharu at about 12 to 12:30 tomorrow. So it's about 12 hours, maybe 11 hours on the train. We're trying to find which car we're in. We're supposed to be in car number T6. Once the sun rises, we'll be riding through the jungle. And then once we get there, Aisya has a list of activities that we're going to have in Kota Bharu until we fly back to Kuala Lumpur on Monday morning. Probably a plug. So unless something exciting happens, I'll see you in the morning. It's about 7:15 in the morning, and I'm in between coaches here on the train. Hope you can hear me, it's kind of noisy. We have about another 5 hours before, maybe even 6 hours before we get to Kota Bharu. And as I'm looking at Google Maps and following the train on the map, I can see that the route that we're following is not exactly as far east as I thought it would be. We're sort of heading up north towards the east coast, right through the center of the country. Right now we're passing through the state of Pahang. We passed through Temerloh about an hour and a half ago, and I'm not really sure what the next big town is. Well, we left from Kuala Lumpur at about 9:30 last night, headed south to a junction called Gemas, which is also a town. And then from there we started the long trip to Kota Bharu. We should be arriving there, like I said, at 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock this afternoon. Aisya took us on a tour of the train, and now I'm glad we did come down here because we're at the very end of the train. And there's a sign on the door warning us not to go any further. Farther. I should have said not to go any farther. About 8:30 now, and we're just getting something at the cafe, which is, how many, 2 cars behind us?
What?
The cafe?
Only 1 car.
1 car behind us. Aisya found it earlier today. When I reported earlier that she was still sleeping, she was actually wide awake, wandering the train I didn't even know it. We're still in the cafe car. Aisya has decided to get some mihun, which is small noodle, usually fried. And I have a coffee, a hot coffee, and a flimsy plastic cup, so it's almost impossible to hold it in your hand. I can't really drink it until it cools off a bit. We also have some roti bakar, which is toast. And we're, according to our last report from Google Maps, we're about 3 hours from Kota Bharu, which is the official name of the station that we're going to near Kota Bharu. We're getting close to Kota Bharu now. We have about an hour to go. And Aisya has outlined an entire program of events for the day, culminating, I think, with what everybody wants to see, the clock tower. So stay tuned. We should have the clock tower coming up in this video very shortly.
So we're here.
We finally arrived in Kota Bharu. The weather is much warmer than it was inside the train. And now we're going to get a grab and head into town. Well, as you can see, this market is pretty big. It's inside, and it is actually cool in here. Well, maybe cool is pressing the matter a bit, but it is nice inside here. And it's called the Siti Khadija Market here in Kota Bharu. These are the biggest prawns I've ever seen. All right, now Aisya has completed her good daughter and good auntie duties, bringing home clothing and rare foodstuffs for all the family back in, well, back somewhere else besides here. And now we're heading towards the hotel, the Che Walk Hotel. This is a Sunday here in Kota Bharu. And one of the reasons the streets are so busy, you would think on a Sunday they wouldn't be, but in Kota Bharu they're on a Friday, Saturday weekend schedule. So Sunday is a normal work day. So right now we're going out foraging for food. I think we're both pretty hungry.
Yep.
And then, if we're lucky, we'll get to the clock tower. Aisya's insisting on seeing the clock tower.
Another clock tower mission.
Say that again?
Another clock tower mission.
We're going to start a new TV series. Clock towers around the world.
That could be a good series.
Anyway, Kota Bharu is the capital city of Kelantan, the state in Malaysia on the northeast coast, as I mentioned before. And we're very close to the Thai border here and the South China Sea. Right now we're at a crafts village, which is directly across the street from the Sultan Palace here in Kota Bharu. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, as promised.
Yes.
The Kota Bharu Clock Tower. And even though it's around 5:30, the clock tower says it's almost 10 minutes of 3. So another clock tower, Malaysian clock tower in the bag.
Yes. What are you doing? stage.
Those of you that recall the discussion that Aisya and I had at Grace's wedding trip about ABC, this is what it looks like. Aisya, can you tell us what is in ABC?
I don't know, this ABC have crushed nuts, chendol.
What is chendol?
Chendol. I have no idea how to explain it in English. It's something like, I think it's made from a flour, like I don't know what's flour. So this
what makes it cold?
Ice, chef's ice.
And there's sweetened milk.
Sweetened milk.
What makes it pink?
It's coloring. No, it's a syrup. And then this one is chin chow.
It's a bean.
No, chin chow.
Chin chow is what?
Don't ask me. Okay, and this one I don't know. It's some kind of jelly.
Looks like a grape.
No, it's some kind of jelly. And yeah, that's it. Mostly ice.
Okay, I think most of my viewers can understand why I don't like ABC.
What?
It just seems to be a conglomeration of things thrown into a bowl.
Better than your carbonated drinks.
More later. Good morning and welcome to Kopitiam Kita here in Kota Bharu. Lady Aisya and I have just, almost finished our breakfast before we head off to the airport after a triumphant train trip across the jungle of Malaysia on, was it train number 26, right? Train number 26. In case you're wondering, we've investigated this. It starts in Johor Bahru and ends in Tinam? Not Tinam. What is it? It's the station after Kota Bharu. It's the
Tumpat.
Tumpat, that's it. I knew it. It's in northeastern Malaysia, very close to the Thai border. And in a few minutes, we'll be heading to the airport for our flight back to Kuala Lumpur.
Speak.
My theory about why some people miss their flights is because there's too many shopping kiosks that prevents them from getting to the boarding area on time. Here we are back on the plane, Malaysian Airlines to Kuala Lumpur from Kota Bharu. This is our first plane, isn't it? First plane on the trip. Pretty soon we'll be leaving here and landing in Kuala Lumpur less than an hour later, I think.
I think around 1 hour.
1 hour.
You're enjoying this, right?
Oh, yes. Aisya did so much souvenir shopping that she needed a baggage cart when we got off the plane.
You are not being genuine and you're not helping me at all.
All right, so the Kota Bharu jungle train ride is over. Aisya and I spent about 15 hours train travel. That included some from Kuala Lumpur to Gemas. And then we had a slight layover in Gemas waiting for the next train. And that was an 11-hour ride from Gemas, which I think is a major junction, a major rail junction in Malaysia. And then we rode from Gemas to Kota Bharu. And instead of taking the train back, we decided to fly back. I'm at KL Central now. Aisya got off the train from the airport into town at her house, which is in Cyberjaya. I continued on here to KL and I'm going to take the monorail back to my apartment. That's the jungle train ride. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.